Hello everybody, I'm Itcherface, and in today's video I want to give my thoughts on this new UU metagame and how all these Lumians will perform in it. Now, if you don't know what UU is, it's just a name for a tiering system based off of usage, which is the data I've gathered in my Discord, thanks to all of your help. And if you want to help, Discord's still linked in the description as always, so you could go in there and post teams and yeah, those stats are used to determine, OU and UU. OU stands for overused. That's just your standard metagame with, stuff. It's just the general metagame. That's just how I should say it. And then UU is the tier below that, where the things that don't get much usage in OU can compete against each other, and it just brings light to less used Lumians. So, yeah, today I want to give my thoughts on how this particular set of how this particular set of Lumians combat each other when we don't have to take into account this set of Lumians. Now, I want to say these are all actually ordered in usage order. So like this is Ticlipse is the most used, Cephalops is then next after, then Garbantus, Stratosaur. So yeah, these aren't, but I just I just wanted to point out that Ticlipse is the most used, Ursul's the least used in OU. Everything else here doesn't have enough usage to be considered OU, so yeah. Anyway, enough of the filler crap. Let's just do a tier list, I guess. They're all in S for now. They won't all be there. I want to start things off strong with a quick, hey, Luxor, lower tier, but there you go. Okay, anyway, moving on. Let's cover Vocaloa. Vocaloa is... in my opinion, probably the most broken thing down here. Before I have a tournament with this whole UU thing, I'm giving people time to play around with it, and but before I do like actually banning things from UU because they're too strong. But Vocaloa is definitely on that list of potentially banning. It'll most likely get banned. I don't know for sure though, but overall its speed tier along with coverage and brawn boost just leave it able to just decimate everything. There are very few things down here that it can actually outspeed Vocaloa. Tata, because you'll likely run Very Nimble, Tata, Very Nimble Arapago, and then like Munchwheel and Avatros after Rev Up. That's it. Everything else gets outsped, and then it's just got very good coverage for stuff down here, like Colossotrops, Savage Greed, Earthquake, Savage Greed. Actually, you can't actually hit this unless you run Blaze Chomp for some reason. But yeah, there is just very hard for things to really stop this once it gets going, and it can abuse its speed tier to actually get going pretty darn quick. But anyway, broke. That's what I have. I want to also... I feel like I should put Valkyrie up here too. For now, I want to put Valkyrie up here with broke just because its ability to output damage is just pretty much unmatched down here, besides like Colossotrops. But with the ability to have recovery on top of wall-breaking prowess and just good typings to throw at the meta, it's just very, very hard to say that this is not one of the strongest options down here. It might be more of an S tier rather than just broken, but hey, for now, it's with the very little usage data we have from UU so far, everybody just has a Valkyrie, and it's not even oof. It's everywhere, and it definitely performs destructively. So anyway, I should probably move this along a little faster so that this video doesn't end up to be like 30 minutes long. So let's start with lower tier Lumians, so I could just race through them. Things I don't see performing well even down here. Things like Waka Laka. I mean, we got bugs. I do want to say Icicle Trap down here seems a lot better than in OU, even though in OU it's still really good. It's just the fact that hazard removal is not as easy down here. We don't have lame Stratosaur to just gust away on a whim. our options down here are Cinemoth and like Avitross for Gust. Or if you really want to use Wimpor, you can use Wimpor. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then for fire types, we have Eruptodon, we have Chartiki, and Searknight. I think those are the only fire types down here. Yeah, yeah, we got Infernix, Krakaloa, Ikazune up there, and then we just it's kind of rough getting rid of icicle traps, you know, immediately. So things weak to ice generally have a bad time. So things like Waka Waka, Florant especially. But yeah, icicle trap really good down here, and things that are weak to it just kind of seem like they'll suffer for it. So I kind of want to put Waka Waka down here. Don't know how far down I want to put it, but he's pretty far down. And same with Florant. I'll put it a little bit above Waka Waka, despite being quad weak. You know, never mind. Never mind. It's weak to a ton of the meta. So I just don't see it performing that well. Again, these are initial impressions, so this isn't like fact, like, oh, I Eat Your Face said this, so it must be true. This is just at a glance because, well, UU hasn't been a thing for very long. What else looks bad? Puff. Now, I only have it here because people would complain if it wasn't there. I might put it above these two just because it's like just that bulky, but I'm not seeing it doing too much down here. I guess we could... I want to give a quick thing with Dyborg. Dyborg with Tank, especially after getting these new moves with the Part 2 Valentine's event, you know, Mega Punch, Muck Blast, Metal Blast, actually looks like it could do decently. I don't know how good. I'm going to keep it in like B- because its Tank set actually seems like it could, you know, do a little bit. Like, you could check Valkyrie with it, make your Mega Punch do over half, and then have a, you know, clever tank so that it doesn't automatically obliterate you. And then having metal coverage for things like Icicle, Himber. Although, Himber, 1, probably won't swap into you, and 2, you probably won't be swapping into it. Let's be real. But yeah, it might be decent. But yeah, that's why I'll just leave it in B- for now. Umbrat, I kind of want to put down here with Dyberg as well. Despite weaknesses to Icicle Trap, I feel like stuff like Swolder will be used a lot. What else? I could also see Bezeldu being used a lot, especially after it gets Ferroblast from level up, which will happen with the Part 2 Valentine's update as well. It'll be able to swallow those hits. It's also not weak to Icicle Trap, so that's fun. And then like Icicle, I could guarantee we'll see a lot of usage because Rejuvenate and yeah, it seems like it'll be fine. So it'll struggle with common defensive things, but overall it still has some solid damage output. So that's why I'll leave it down there. I'll also throw like Ragoon. See, Ragoon itself isn't very impressive, but utility with Burglar Chase Down just seems really good. So I'll also put it in B- for that. Skellic with Primal Slash, since it'll have access to that next update, since Pike will be getting it. Well, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Let's talk about some better Lumians. We'll get back to those. S tier. I kind of want to lead with Himber here. Himber seems insanely good down here in the UU metagame. Because Ice and Earth offensively is good, even up here in OU. It's just the problem of, you know, super fat stuff able to deal with it, along with various coverage with, like, you know, you got Mutagon who doesn't really care about it, doesn't really swap in well with the current with the meta. You know, having a bunch of metal, fire, water, you know, that kind of stuff. So I feel like, but Himber down here, while the coverage still exists down here, it's a lot less powerful, giving Himber, you know, the ability to actually use its levels of bulk. Plus, it's just offensively just really powerful. Typing wise, very few things actually want to swap into this thing. You've got like Ventation that might want to take a couple hits. Well, not might. It will actually take a couple hits. Skellig if you catch a move that isn't Earth, I guess. But yeah, a combination of like Earthquake, Ice Hammer, and then Yeti's Wrath actually being pretty good down here as a late game option. And then and then put it on Bane of Haste, and oof, that's some damage. That's some real damage. Okay, so yeah, S tier in my opinion. Munchwheel as a late game cleaner is insane. You know, Rev Wheel, bulk up, not Rev Wheel. I mean, it is called the Rev Wheel, but you know, Rev up, bulk up. Access to a lot of coverage. Levels of bulk in this tier are a lot lower than the one above it. So Munchwheel has a lot of room to go in the late game. It's very, very devastating late game. Now, you know, shying away from S tier, I want to put Colossal Drops up here in A+. Defensively, still garbage, just as always. That typing just sucks a lot. But when you get it in, obviously its damage output is near unmatched. Coverage, it can hit pretty much anything it wants to at any given point. But yeah, the reason it's not S tier is its weakness to Icicle Traps, general weaknesses overall, making it harder to get in than things like Himber and that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It still does a massive butt ton of damage, and it's especially if you can manage to get one for Bane of Haste and put it on Bane of Haste or even semi Bane of Haste. It looks like it could put in a lot of work down here in UU. Also in the A+, I kind of want to... I feel like Deladrix performs exceedingly well down here. Despite not being able to switch into much because our fire types don't really exist. I mean, Chartiki could hit you with Life Drain. Seer Knight doesn't really care because Searing Steel, so it's not safe anyway. Eruptodon's pretty much your only safe way of getting in. But as a revenge killer, even with Revenine existing as well. Also, I forgot Revenine's a fire type, so don't clown on me too much. But you know, as a revenge killer that has different coverage from Revenine, it really helps things out. You know, you can hit Himber, you can hit you know, the mines like Metronet, Ferroglyph, and then you also have various melee moves like Clay Slap if you want to hit Dyborg if that ever becomes important. Or Seer Knight. I mean, but although I'm pretty sure Douse will probably do more because of the defense difference. I don't know for sure. I haven't really calculated it. You also have Venonchomp for things like Top or Bezeldew. And so yeah, it's just got some good coverage and good utilities. Or not utility, but good use as a revenge killer. But in the same regard, Revenine, I mean, its coverage is very hard to swap into, especially with Vengeance up. So, I mean, for the same reason as Deladrix, yeah, pretty much. I feel like that's what I want to do for the A+. Metronet, just slightly under the 3 above it. Defensively, it doesn't really have many weaknesses, only 2 of them. One of them isn't used very much, and the other one's weak to Icicle Trap. So, I mean, on paper, that sounds pretty fine, but there's a lot of damage being thrown around down here, and not being able to resist much, since it only resists 2 typings, Mind and Brawler. Only resisting those 2 typings kind of leaves it hard to get in, just like these guys, and its damage output isn't, it still has a very good speed tier and a high range attack stat, but Very Nimble Deladrix is faster than it. Very Nimble Revenite is faster than it. And things like Colossotrops and Himber hit pretty dang hard because of, you know, abilities. And then Munchwheel being a better late game cleaner because of the rev up kind of deal. But overall, Metronet still has a lot to offer with its coverage and just natural damage output. So I want to put it in A. It might be A+, but for now I want to leave it in A. Yeah. Also, Shachi is actually I might put it in A- because this boy alone, if Seer Knight didn't exist, you know, it'd be somewhere up here. But I kind of want to put it A-. It has destructive damage output. That's going to be a common theme down here, just destructive damage output. But I feel like Seer Knight might be common in like a tournament setting because of that coverage. Also, Metronet can punish that Seer Knight with a Mud Spatter, so that's pretty cool. I kind of just want to have them a tier apart, just because I want to say Metronet is definitively better. I shouldn't say definitively better, because natural damage output Shachi does more. I just feel like Metronet functions better late game and whatnot. But yeah, Shachi does a lot of damage. Just really has to watch out for this boy right here, because it resists Foul Chant, Elemental Burst, and Pyrokinesis doesn't do much to more ranged bulky variants. Then of course, having Chase Down, being able to chunk it every time it comes in, is not great for it. But lots of damage though. What else do I want? Avitross looks pretty okay, pretty good down here. If we disregard Himber, Himber and Icicle, which I'll rank that eventually. Avitross offers a lot down here. Rev up with, Nosedive to hit Revenine, Deladrix. Prevent, the rev up kind of prevents these two from actually trying to revenge kill Avitross. And a rev up actually lets it outspeed Broken Volcaloa if that stays down here long enough to see a tournament. But yeah, and then Thunder Crash can even hit Munchwheel, so it could prevent Munchwheel from getting going. So like it's pretty good, and then offers Gust utility, because you kind of need that. You really need hazard removal down here. It's not a fun time. I might make it A- just because there's a lot down here that could deal with it. But being able to deal with something like Swolder, which I also want to mention, defensively, it's probably it's one of the better options dealing with something like Colossotrops, especially if they don't have bulk up. If they don't have bulk up, Swolder actually can tank it very well. I shouldn't say tank it very well. It can check it very well. And it can also deal with something like Top, which has great speed tier. Brawler typing in general is pretty darn good. It can run mixed to deal with something like Ventation, who I also believe to be very good down here. Very solid check to Himber. Getting Battering Ram to leave it not as passive as it once was. And just good at denying physical hits, like, Avitross, Himber, Tata, but I guarantee you Tata will be mixed because of Ventation. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Also keeping something like Borak from going absolutely AWOL. Also, I like your Borak resist down here. I like your Borak answers down here. Borak really can put a dent in things down here. The lack of Obsidragon, the lack of Garbantis, the lack of various ways of pivoting in versus its coverage. It can definitely leave a mark down here, because that coverage is ridiculous, and that damage output about a shine down here. Only problems are weakness to Icicle Trap, and then earlier in the game, Himber's generally healthy, and that can actually get in on Borak and threaten massive damage against the opposing team. So yeah, and then of course the speed tier isn't amazing. So yeah, I'm not putting in A+, but it does very well. Chartiki, good as always. It would be good in OU as well. It's just down here. Offers great coverage with the Plant Fire. Toxic if it can switch between them when it wants to, and just can be a general blanket check to the meta in general. It can deal with a lot depending on its set. So that's why I have it down here. That's why I have it in the A tier. Another thing I want to address, I want to put Wobelisk down here in A-. Actually being in the A tier, the buff to its melee defense actually is it's a lot more meaningful than one would imagine. Like Borak, Earth Essence, Very Brawny Earthquake. With the Clever set I once addressed back in my How to Use Wobelisk, that was used for Malamurk, but that actually translated perfectly to making Borak do less than 50%. So that's pretty cool. And then obviously coverage-wise, it's got a lot for the current meta. Main issue is not being able to hit this boy. Not being able to hit this boy very well. And not being able to hit this boy very well is not a good look. But overall, it's bulky. It has Ignorant to stop any, keep setup from going too crazy. Like, it can be a check to Colossotrops if it tries to set up. No, not really Munch Wheel, but it can also stop Avitross. And again, Borok's Boast isn't really accounted for because of Ignorant. And also the speed buff, making it, if you want to run an offensive Wobblist, you can run it faster than Borok, so there you go. Yeah, overall, Wobblist is a solid Loomian down here. I should probably address the cows, or the cattle. Trumbull, very solid, very solid. Battlehorn, Raging Tackle, Mega Chomp, possibly Provoke to deal with Icicle. Yeah, it can output a lot of damage, and it should be respected, even in OU. But it just let's try to respect it down here. Come on, guys. And then right under Trumbull, I want to put Mewtwo, simply because it doesn't have that Provoke to deal with Icicle, but it just deals the damage output of a Trumbull. Actually, more damage output than Trumbull. But yeah, the cattle are very strong and should be respected for sure. What else do I want to address? Eruptodon, after it gets Magnify, solid. I don't want to put it like A-, but like BB+. Even with, our water types resisting it, it definitely will perform fairly well. Even with the presence of Reptide, Bezeldew, Ventation, and whatnot to resist it. Late game, this thing seems like a destructive force for sure. Accelerate, Magnify, Lava, or not Lava Plume, Fire Breath, and Mud Spatter seems very solid late game, or even like an early game breaking can force in the water types, use it as a bait. But yeah, it seems very solid, and then of course it can function as trap removal, or because it can lessen traps on entry. So yeah, that's what I want to say for that one. Metatoad, I also want to throw. Actually, I kind of like it. I kind of want to throw it up here. Metatoad offers a lot down here. Tase support, slap down, utility, and then even specialization down here is very good, because unlike OU that has Teclipse to resist Cycle Slap, Cephalops to resist Cycle Slap, Stratosaur to resist Cycle Slap, Vesperatu to resist, and the list goes on. While there are still resists like Metronet Quad resists, and what else? We got Seer Knight who resists, Munchville who resists, although that one's not going to be taken to that well. It still is extremely spammable down here because, not everything's going to have all of that, and just forces a lot of damage very quickly. So a very, very good wall breaker with specialization down here, and should be respected. And then, of course, that's not all it can do. If you don't want to run specialization, you still have Tase support, slapdown, and whatnot. So yeah, very, very solid, very solid. It's just the problems it has are weaknesses and just lack of relevant resistances. But yeah, let's I guess I also want to talk about Gardrone. Gardrone's a pretty good wall breaker. I just feel like it's inferior to Valkyrie. But a coverage, it's got great coverage, and then of course it just hits really hard. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Reptide. Let's talk about Reptide. I feel like Reptide is a very solid pivot, especially since it'll resist fire for our boy Eruptodon right here. Yeah, it just kind of, if you have a Reptide, you're not too worried about Eruptodon. And then of course, Power Napper letting you stay healthy. Only problem, you don't have Flash and Flee, and you're pretty passive overall. So that's why I have it in B, but very solid overall. Not very solid, but it's solid. It's definitely usable, I should say. And it has a it has a place. I also want to put Skellic Same place down here. If there was a reliable way of getting combative going, it would I would definitely have it. I would definitely move it up, but it doesn't have that. But you know, its coverage is pretty good, and then defensively it can act, you know, the same way with a Reptidon, although it's not as durable because, you know, it has no recovery. But quad resisting fire is, you know, fun. But yeah, it also has some utility with baffle and whatnot. You could also, you know, troll with final ruse, I guess. But yeah, I wanna also make note of Wiki. A solid check to Colossotrops, but it's kind of specific to Colossotrops, and and for that I kind of want to put it down here. Specific to Colossotrops, but it is a very solid check to it overall. But yeah, Terrafly. I don't know what I want to do with you. I do not know what I want to do with you. I'm gonna be real. You have poison barbs, which is cool. But overall, I don't know what to do with you. I'll come back to you. Setimars. Let's think here. Overall, like defensively, Setimars is pretty good. But the problem down here in UU is that icicle traps are common for sure because Timber's everywhere, and they're hard to get rid of. So I kind of want to, like, I would have had it up here, but I kind of want to throw it down here because icicle traps lead it to be pressured pretty easily. And there are a lot of things it would like to wall, but it can't wall all of them. Like, you know, it would like to wall both of these at the same time, but doing that is a struggle because they're on they attack the opposite defense stat. And then of course Himber threatens it very well. Colossotrops threatens it a lot. Deladrix threatens it. You know, there's just a lot that threatens it. And it just can't afford to try and be mixed defensive because then it just kind of gets broken through. But overall, other things kind of get checked very well by it, so that's why it's still up here. Arpygo, poor boy. While you are getting good coverage with the Dark Surge, you have the damage output of a Wet Noodle. It's just like, unfortunately, I just can't see it being that good. Its niche is it being faster than Volcaloa naturally. You know, it can act as a revenge killer if the stuff is very low. Yeah, I don't see Arpygo being that good. Of course, I would be happy to be proven wrong though. What else we want to talk about? Dusket. I kind of want to show a little bit of respect to Dusket. I don't think it'll be A tier because I feel like down here in OU specifically, it's just like a worse Metronet. Yeah, although it is faster, but oppress spam does seem fun, and that might bump it up to A minus. But oppress spam seems fun down here because the key resistances are gone. Not many remain in that regard. And then, of course, barbs, pair it with barbs or, you know, Tay support with Metatoad or something, and, you know, you could get yourself going. Serenite, I also want to throw down here in B+. Like, defensively, it can check the mine stuff, though it does have to watch out for Mud Spatter. What else? It can, you know, beat down Wobblisks that don't have Earth coverage, so that's a thing. Yeah, it can just check things decently well. Not decently well, pretty well. But yeah, I don't see it like standing out to be up here with the A tier stuff. So that's why I just have it in B+. Bezeldew, I feel like it's just under Reptide. It offers, you know, a big resistance in a Reptidon. It's generally overall very bulky. Probably the bulkiest viable drop of youth down here. The problem is soft water is exceedingly costly and it's very easy to take advantage of. Unlike Reptide, who can just switch out for recovery. So that's why I pretty much have it down here. Yeah. Oh, I forgot Pluff is pretty bulky with a drop of youth. I forgot. But who cares? Cinemoth. I'll put it. The problem with Cinemoth is like ice type coverage is going to be popular with like Wobblisk, Timber, potential Festifer, which I'll cover in a bit, Icicle, and it's just weakness to Icicle Traps. Kind of makes it hard to succeed, but it can put a wall and put a dent and stuff because of Magnify and coverage. So yeah, that's why I have it in B. Ferroglyph, I'll kind of throw down here. I have it in B+. It would be B if it didn't have the power to have different sets. You know, you can have a temper set, you can have an idiosyncratic set. You're both a physical and a ranged Lumian in one go. Unless if your opponent is very good at identifying things from team preview, that's less effective. But you know, overall, that applies pressure in itself. You don't know what set it has immediately. So yeah, that's why I have it in B+. Eliguana seems solid. I don't know if it's like A+ or B or A- or B+ though. Seems solid enough, but I kind of don't want to graduate it to the to up here. It's weak to a lot of the common stuff like Himber, Munchwheels, or Mega Chomp, Colossotrops, Earthquake, Dilladrix, Douse, Dark Surge. So it's just hard to check things that just have that big wall breaker potential, especially when you're just weak to them. But it still provides some good utility, so I'll keep it in B+. Joltooth, I'll also throw down here in B+. Very threatening in terms of damage, but it's ironically it seems harder to force things out down here than in OU. So it's harder to take advantage of ambush, and it's not very bulky, but it still threatens a lot of damage. So I'll keep it in B+. Dorigo, I'll throw you in B. I mean, you're solid, but like nothing. I don't feel like it'll have that big of an impact. And in the same regard, I'm just gonna throw a Terrafly down here too. The only reason I have it with Dorigo instead of down here is I feel like the bug typing can threaten more things out down here than in OU, so you can take advantage of ambush better. Festifer, I feel like it's just like if Himber and Colossotrops had a failed child, that would be Festifer. Like if you're running a Bane of Haste team, Himber and Colossotrops are just better options to run over Festifer because their damage output is actually higher in their with their respective Festifer has Earthquake, but Himber's Earthquake hits harder. So does Colossotrops's. Obviously, Plant Stab's better. The only thing it has is that Ice Stab, which I feel like isn't like the power of that Ice Stab isn't really needed down here. I feel like the power of Earth and Plant are just more desired, but I feel like it's still yeah, I'll put it in B. It's really hard to get in because of defensive typing. There's no Eclipse to just freely take advantage of. So like I feel like it'd be good on Bane of Haste, or solid on Bane of Haste, just like yeah, I feel like it's just worse than these guys. Gas Stroke, weak to Chase Down, which isn't that prevalent. Like there's no Ursul to always chase down, but Seer Knight, I don't feel like Ragoon will be used that much. Let's see, what that ranged wall, does it really need it for much? Yeah, there's not a lot I can really do down here. I'm gonna be real. I don't see it doing that much, and plus a weakness to Icicle Trap kind of sucks. And then Icicle, I feel like it's pretty good. Rejuvenate will definitely give it a boost in longevity to better, wall Mewtwo Trumbull. And then as well as things like Tatop, Avitross. Actually, I feel like that resume is pretty good, actually. I could also see it stopping Swolder. So maybe I could throw it an A-. Yeah, the problem will be its energy stat and the item it wants to hold will vary, which, yeah, it can't run every item at once. So I feel like those are the primary weaknesses. But other than that, I feel like it'll be a solid thing. So overall, yeah, those are my thoughts. How long was the video? Dang it, 35 minutes or so. I can't really tell for sure because the timer's different. But hopefully, yeah, those are my thoughts. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed that. If you did, make sure to leave a like. You know, really helps supports my channel. The more people that like, the more people that see it. You know, that kind of thing. Let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on this UU tier? Are you interested in UU at all? Is this just something you'll ignore because PvP prep is too hard? Yeah. And let me know if you actually want to see more UU content, like dedicated videos to UU battles. Let me know in the comments below. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully y'all enjoyed, and I'll see you on another video. See ya!